So let's first have a look at how to deal with the two most important things in expansion. We will call them two key areas. The first key area for us to deal with is paragraph 1, that is the meaning of the proverb. Now, when we talk about the meaning of the proverb, understanding the meaning of the proverb is the first challenge that we face. Okay, now understand, we are going to deal with this with a few methods that I will teach you. But what's going to be the second key area? The second paragraph, or the content. That means the examples and details that you're supposed to give. The second challenge is to develop the content or the material for the second paragraph. This is the most lengthy thing to deal with, and I know here is where we more often get stuck. But again, we are going to really take care of that. So let's move on to the first thing. Okay, let us deal with each key area systematically. Meaning of the proverb, that is para 1, is our first key area. And remember, there are two ways to find out the meaning of the proverb. Okay, what are those two ways? The first way to deal with it is the keyword method. And the second method is the moral stories method. Now, let us understand each in detail. Every proverb has keywords in it which convey the meaning of the proverb. Okay, that is what we call the keyword method. Now, I'm sure you need an example. So let's first take an example. Let's say our proverb in the examination is, handsome is as handsome does. Nice proverb, isn't it? But we haven't heard of it before. We really don't know the meaning. Now, keyword method is going to help us find the meaning. What do we mean by that? We'll have to follow certain steps. Okay? Step number 1, pick out the keywords in this proverb. Now look at the proverb properly and you will see two important words, handsome and does. Wow, we've actually achieved the first step. Now let's move on to step number 2. Think of the words related to each keyword. Okay? Now, what is our first keyword? Handsome. And when we talk about handsome, what words come to our mind? Good looks, appearance, beautiful, whatever comes to your mind related to this particular keyword, jot down those words and move on to the second keyword. The second keyword is does, and it's as simple as doing or deeds. Does simply means doing something or the deeds of a person. Now let's move ahead. We have done the needful. We have found the keywords and found words related to them. Now let's come to step number 3. What is step number 3? Now you get a fair idea of the meaning through these keywords, and therefore you use all those words to create an introduction. Did you understand? The new words that we have found which are related to the keywords are going to form our introduction. Okay, now how is it possible? It's as simple as, if you put together these words, you can write something like, the deeds of a person are more important than the looks. One should not give importance to the appearance of a person. Doesn't it mean that? Isn't it? So now, through these keywords, we were able to put together some good meaning here. We can put this as our introductory paragraph. Now, quickly let's move on to one more proverb and see if these steps are really helpful. Okay? And let's see what new proverb we can find. Okay? The new proverb is going to be, Rome was not built in a day. Now understand, we've heard this proverb. Maybe we know the meaning also, but we don't know how to articulate ourselves. That is, write down how, what it means in words in the introduction. No problem at all. Let's quickly go back to our steps. What was the step number 1, students? Pick out the words. Okay, so step number 1, pick out the words. Which words? Keywords, isn't it? Tell me, what are the keywords here? Simple. The first and the most glaring one is Rome, isn't it? What is the second important thing in the sentence? Not built, isn't it? And the third most important component or keywords, in a day. Now we can proceed to step number 2. What is our step number 2 here? Let's have a look at it. Think of words related to each keyword. Our first keyword is Rome. And what comes to our mind is it's a great city, it's a beautiful city, isn't it? What's the second keyword? Not built. And what would that literally mean? Not created, not made. And in a day is the third portion of our keyword section. And what does it mean? In a day will mean in a very, very short time. Now, let's move on to step number 3. What was our step number 3? Now you get the fair idea of the meaning. Therefore, you use all those words to create the introduction. So, how will we put together all these words? Anything great cannot be created in a short period of time. Isn't it so? And you can further go on to say that thus consistent efforts are required to accomplish something great. Do you understand? This is how you're going to guess the meaning of a proverb you really don't understand, or if you are falling short of words to explain the meaning of a familiar proverb, keyword method is what you need.
Yeah.